Hey, what is going on, guys? Expert Fusion here, and today I want to do my first ever Walking Dead review on an episode, last night's episode, which was called Remember Season 5, Episode 12. So, this episode was really interesting in the fact that it's the first time we've been in a safe community with a lot of other people, where of course the characters have been in a safe community. We've seen other safe communities. We've seen Woodbury. We've seen attemptions at a safe community in the prison. We've seen Terminus, which we thought was a safe community, but obviously was not. It was full of cannibals. And then this is the Alexandria Safe Zone, which is pretty much a safe place. And those of you who read the comics know it is a safe place, and it will be a safe place for a while. It's not like, oh, they're going to be bad, and the next episode we're going to find out they're all cannibals. And no. Alexandria is completely different than Terminus. It is actually a place where they want to keep people safe, and Rick basically knows that now. Rick, in the beginning of the episode, was very, very skeptical, but until he kind of talked to the comic or the TV show version of Douglas Monroe from the comics, where her name is Deanna Monroe. I can't even say the name, Deanna Monroe, something like that. After talking to her for a while, and after just learning the people there, talking to Jesse giving him a haircut, which of course Jesse's husband Pete is going to be a huge storyline on him in the next few episodes, probably to end out season 5. And I'll just give you a brief little synopsis of that. I don't even know if I said that word. I'm not good at pronouncing words. You guys might know that, but the storyline coming up, a little summary on it would be that Pete, or Jesse's husband, abuses her, like hurts her, punches her, hits her, stuff like that. Just abuses her, abusive husband. There's a lot of stories like that in the news and stuff, but he's an abusive husband, and Rick finds out about it. And Rick, I forget how Rick finds out, but it's in the comics. This is all in the comics. It might not be exactly the same way in the TV show, but I'm sure there's going to be some kind of way they're going to show this in the TV series. But Rick finds out about it, and then he needs to do something. He sits down to talk with Pete, and they get in a little fight. Pete fights back, and then they end up getting this huge little fight, punching each other in the face, falling through his living room, and then getting outside, and then he's beating his ass up. And Douglas Monroe breaks up the fight, which will probably be Deanna who will break up the fight. And then later they have a little funeral for someone who just recently died. And what's his name? Pete kind of goes up to Rick, and he's like, you know what? I want revenge. You tried to kick my ass. You beat my ass. I'm gonna get revenge. So he starts trying to fight Rick again, and then Douglas Monroe's wife, her name is Denise, which there is no Denise, so it might be a completely different character in the TV show. We'll just have to wait and see. But Denise tries to break up the fight, and when she tries to break up the fight, what actually ends up happening is, well, Pete slits her throat. So then she's dead. Pete just killed her, and Pete is now deemed to be a bad person. And Douglas looks at Rick and says, I think he says, do it. I'm not sure. He might just nod his head or something like that. And then Rick does what he needs to do. He shoots Pete in the head. Pete's dead, and there you go. That was a pretty quick storyline. But sorry if I didn't warn you about spoilers, but I did say it was going to be a big storyline from the comics that is probably going to be coming in to this season, probably for the season finale or something of that sort. I was just letting you guys know what might come up. So we get to learn about Jesse a little bit in this episode. Not enough about Jesse, not understanding her story completely, but we did get to meet Jesse and a little bit of Pete. Another new characters would be Nicholas and Aiden. Aiden is Deanna's son, and that's the guy who tried to fight Glenn, because the guy is very strange in the sense of whenever a walker kills one of their people, they have the the urge to not want to kill the walker, and instead of killing the walker, they want to hook up the walker and leave it there to rot, because they feel like the walker deserves it because what they've done. And I think it's kind of a crazy thing in him. I think Glenn kind of convinced him to just not do it anymore by kicking his ass. And then I'm sure the whole community doesn't do this. I'm sure it's something that Aiden and Nicholas like doing because they feel it's necessary. But I'm sure the whole community doesn't do it because Deanna, I'm sure, doesn't do it because Deanna was like, looked at Glenn and said thank you for hitting him when Glenn hit him. So that's pretty cool. Another thing I want to talk about is the comedy in this episode. I'm liking the comedy. They're adding a little bit of funny little moments in it, especially with Daryl. Like, Daryl gets the what was it, like, I think it was a possum. He's like, oh, I got dinner. Like, it was just funny, you know. Daryl trying to see Daryl in this community is very, very strange, because Daryl's obviously not used to a nice community. I mean, other characters are getting used to it a little bit better. Like, Carol is starting to get, like, you know, she's got that housewife clothes on, and she's making food for the elderly, and everyone's kind of in their own space. But Daryl's more of an outdoor cat than an indoor cat. He can't just deal with living in a community like this. He's trying to get used to it. He just wants to live out in the open, and he wants to hunt instead of eating whatever food they give him, because I mean, that's how Daryl works. So another thing I want to touch on is that girl that Carl was with. I do believe the girl that hopped the fence, and then Carl went off to go follow her. I don't know her name. I really don't know it yet. I think they said it, but I totally forget what the name is. But she hopped the fence, and then right after she hops the fence, Rick goes back and then finds that there's no gun. You know, that gun he hid in that blender? Gun's not there. So it must have been her who took it. Now, why did she take it? That is completely up to speculation by people, but I think this girl is a little bit crazy in the head, kind of like Lizzie from season 4, because I mean, she seems like a dark character. She seems like she's been through a lot, because when Carl comes, she just kind of looks at was reading a book or something like that, and she was just completely ignoring Carl, not like saying hi or anything like that. And she just doesn't seem very like a nice character. I'm sure they're gonna do something interesting with her, maybe turn her into a bad person. Maybe she's gonna try to, I don't know, shoot up the community, because maybe that's why she got the gun, or maybe she's gonna do something else with the gun. I really don't know. It's really up to what happens, but I'm almost positive she took the gun, because who else could have took the gun? And another reason why I think she took the gun is because she was in that house in the very beginning of the episode. Carl saw her in that little house outside of the community, and she must have been looking at Rick when he put it in the blender, because how in the hell would she be able to just look in a blender and be like, oh, there you go, I got a gun? Like, that doesn't really happen. Like, what kind of coincidence would that be, really? So I'm almost positive she saw Rick put it away, and then she went and took it. And I'm sure Rick maybe will see her with the gun, and then because the gun says J on it, so it's very, very easy to tell, you know, what the gun is, because it has a little J symbol on. I have no idea what the J stands for, but it's there. So some other cool things about this episode, kind of foreshadowing for later events. There was one new character named Olivia. We didn't see much of her. That's kind of the chubby one. I mean, that's the only way I could put it. She's the one who collects all the weapons and keeps all the weapons in her like little armory area where all the supply run stuff goes after the supply runs happen, and it's pretty cool. So those are the only characters we really met. There still are some more characters left to meet, I'm sure we didn't meet everybody. They just didn't want to stuff us with characters in one episode, so they're just kind of breaking it out over the next few episodes to end season 5. And another little thing from the comic books that I do think is going to come in this next few episodes is the Scavengers, or the Wolves, which I think is going to be the version of them in the TV show. But the Wolves, or the Scavengers, are a group of people who just want to steal. That's just all their goal in the Walking Dead life, the universe, is they want to just steal. They feel the only way to survive is to just take weaker groups and just steal, because they can't get stuff the other ways. I mean, they're just bad people that just want to steal. They want to steal and keep everything for themselves, and that's what they do. They go up to Alexandria and they say, let me in and let me take your stuff. That's all they say, and then they get into a huge shootout, and then they end up just killing them all. Well, Rick and his group, the Alexandria community, end up killing all the Scavengers, and it was a quick little scene in the comic books, but I think it's going to be like a full episode. Probably first season finale would be a good way for it. And this took place right after the Pete storyline ended, when Rick kills Pete. And then after the Scavengers, all that gunshot from the thing brought a huge herd, which starts the No Way Out storyline. And No Way Out storyline is amazing in the comic books, and it's going to be amazing in the TV show. So overall, great episode. I always like to get into predictions for the recent episodes of my reviews. I'm not going to be making this a Walking Dead channel or anything. I'm just, once a week after the new episode, I'm just going to post this little review, just letting you guys know my thoughts on the episode, and giving you guys a little bit of predictions of what I think is to come in the future. So only once a week on Mondays, so don't be all insane and be like, oh, it's a new Walking Dead channel. I just want to put that out there. And the gameplay that's going to be showing in the background for these types of videos will be just anything that has to do with zombies, whether it be Call of Duty Exo Zombies, Call of Duty regular zombies, whether it be the Walking Dead Telltale Games gameplay, or even Dying Light, Dead Rising 3, whatever gameplay that has to do with zombies, I'm going to put in the background. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. See you guys on my next video. Peace out.